The Book of Expanded Deism by Jason X. Chapter 11. The Criteria for Perfection and Discipline. Question 121. In terms of percentages, what are probably the criteria for perfection and discipline? Answer 121. In terms of percentages, the criterion for perfection is probably to be at least 51% good, and the criterion for discipline is probably to be at least 51% evil. In other words, if a rational creature is at least 51% good overall in this life, he, or it will probably be perfected immediately after death. And if a rational creature is at least 51% evil overall in this life, he, or it will probably be disciplined immediately after death. Question 122. What happens to rational creatures who are 50% good and 50% evil when they die? Answer 122. The divine might have created this life so that such situations are impossible. But if they are possible, then such creatures will probably be disciplined because they have not earned perfection by becoming more good than evil. Question 123. Is it easy or difficult to be just 51% good overall in this life? Answer 123. The divine will be fair. It will not be too easy, and it will not be too difficult. We cannot defeat or trick the divine, so we are wise to be as good as we can be, now and always. Furthermore, it is not very easy to be at least 51% good, because we are often selfish and we make mistakes. Sometimes we will simply give in to our selfishness and do evil. Other times we will accidentally do evil when we are trying to do good. Thus, simply speaking, we cannot afford to purposefully choose to do evil. It is a challenge for us to be more good than evil, just because we are naturally selfish and fallible. Lastly, perhaps every voluntary act we do is a choice between doing good or doing evil. We could easily be much more evil than we realize in that case. Question 124. Why is being relatively good or evil the criterion for whether we are perfected or disciplined? Answer 124. We alone choose whether we are relatively good or evil. If we choose to be relatively good, we are true heroes, and true heroes deserve to be rewarded. If we choose to be relatively evil, we are true villains, and true villains deserve to be punished until they truly repent. Question 125. Some people believe that one must do a bunch of religious rituals to be perfected, and other people believe that one must believe a bunch of miracle stories to be perfected. Why are such people incorrect? Answer 125. Neither doing religious rituals nor believing a bunch of miracle stories necessarily makes one more good or evil. They are likely to make one superstitious, though, and superstition often causes people to be relatively evil. Question 126. How can religious rituals and miracle stories make one superstitious? Answer 126. If the teaching of the rituals and the stories is false or just unlikely, then believing in them makes one superstitious. Question 127. Why does being superstitious often cause people to be relatively evil? Answer 127. A superstition is a belief that is not based on reason. Thus, believing in superstitions tends to cause people to believe in lies. Most lies promote evil. Question 128. What are some examples of superstitions? Answer 128. Believing that witches, or supposed witches, should be killed just because the divine supposedly commands their execution in the Bible. See Leviticus chapter 20, verse 27. Believing that Earth is the center of the universe just because a religious organization teaches it is. Believing that the divine wants people to be tortured and murdered just because they have a different religion than what is considered orthodox, and believing that one should murder people just because one believes that one is part of the master race. Question 129. What are some of the evil consequences of the aforementioned superstitions? Answer 129. Medieval witch hunts, the trial of Galileo, the Spanish Inquisition, and the Holocaust. Question 130. Who will judge us for perfection or discipline? Answer 130. The divine will judge us for perfection or discipline because the divine is by far the most qualified. This judgment is an extremely important matter, and there is no good reason for the divine to remain hidden and silent after one dies. Question 131. Why doesn't the divine have a higher or lower standard for perfection? Answer 131. The divine wants to perfect us as soon as justice and mercy permit. Justice requires that the percentage of good must be over 50%. Otherwise, the rational creature is half evil or mostly evil. Mercy requires that the percentage of good needed must be as low as possible, so that the divine can perfect as many creatures as possible. 51% good is obviously over 50%, but not much. Question 132. Why should people want to do good? Answer 132. There are at least 5 reasons. Many human laws reward people for doing good. The divine will reward relatively good people after death. Relatively good people are generally more liked and loved than relatively evil people. Doing good makes this universe a better place to live, and one can get more pleasure overall from doing good than from doing evil. Question 133. Why should people not want to do evil? Answer 133. There are at least 5 reasons. Most human laws punish people for doing evil. The divine will punish relatively evil people after death. Relatively evil people are generally less liked and loved than relatively good people. Doing good makes this universe a worse place to live, and one can get more suffering overall from doing evil than from doing good. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and/or comment. May reason, compassion, and hope prevail.